Welcome to Pomeroy Castle, the most haunted castle in England. We now stand above the gatehouse. This is the window that you basically see the view where they can see attackers. And this is actually the chapel of the church, and here, this is where the altar would have been. And they would come up here and they would worship. It's an interesting place to have a chapel, in my opinion, but who am I to judge? This must have been the church basement, but also these windows must have been where they put their guns out, and they would have shot straight out at invaders. But the castle obviously wasn't used as a main a defensive fortress, but it was used more as a home, and these were just used to protect the Pomeroy family and then later the Seymour family. We are now in the middle of one of the towers, and the gates here. You can imagine the prisoners would be, shaking the gate when they've been locked in the tower. If you bring the camera around here, you can actually see there's a hole with a grate over it. Potentially there might be a dungeon below us. But a bit more about that when we get to the first ghost story. We are now in St Margaret's Tower. Ooh. This is where the first ghost story takes place. There are two ghost stories at Pomeroy Castle. This is the ghost story of the White Lady. So, it is said it is the spirit of Margaret Pomeroy. And she was imprisoned here by her sister, Eleanor Pomeroy, because she had fallen in love with the same person, and she had been imprisoned down here, as you can see by the windows, either side of me, to die. And you can sometimes see her spirit in this very tower. She was also, Eleanor, the other reason she imprisoned her was because she was jealous of her beauty. We now stand in the old kitchen block, part of the Tudor manor, and it's quite an impressive building. If you look up, you can see that the building was actually 4 stories tall, which is very high for back then. If you rotate the camera around, you can see the old stove, what we would call a stove, their oven. If you pass the camera here, I can show you inside. That's the chimney going 4 stories up, and then we've got 2 other ovens by the side. We're now in one of the many defensive towers along the wall of Pomeroy Castle, and through the window there you can see quite an immense view. But if you want to see the view a bit better, if you walk back round here, if you follow me round here, as you can see behind me, rather impressive views. And down there is actually a river, where originally there would have been a watermill, where they would have made the flour to provide for the bread inside the castle. If you turn the camera around, you can also see the back of the Tudor manor house up there. St Margaret's Tower from the outside. As you can see, there's the window, crooked. That's where the White Lady was locked away. We now stand in the inner courtyard. You've seen the external courtyard, now we're in the inner courtyard. And this is where our second story begins. We've had the White Lady, and now we have the Blue Lady. So, the Blue Lady, she is a miserable lady, well she was anyway. No one really knows who she was, but they do know that she had a child that she ended up killing, and she's been upset, and you can sometimes see her walking through the courtyard in elegant robes, crying. But there is a story that says she is potentially the daughter of a Norman lord, so well early in the Pomeroy family, and certainly not in the Seymour family, and she wanders, mourning the loss of her child. We now stand in one of the many bay windows that you will see at the end of the video when I show you what it would have looked like. To the left there is the parlour, and we're stood in the new Great Hall, and above us would have been the long gallery, which is one of the longest in England at the time. Lovely I believe this is another bay window, lovely view. Castle must have had some lovely views, especially from the top story. But if you turn around here, down there, just below the wooden walkway there, is actually the beer cellar where they would have kept the beer. And they actually, you know these tall pillars, they drained rainwater in to keep it cool as a refrigerator, which is an interesting idea. If you follow me around here. We now stand in the new kitchens. Two massive, and I mean humongous ovens, which are an improvement to the last kitchen, and the chimneys would have gone up as the last one, and would have come out at the top, and we're going to go through here now to the bakery. We're now standing in the bakery, some smaller ovens, as I can imagine. Yet another large chimney that kind of curves off. This wasn't in the old part of the house, and definitely was a big improvement. Here we can see the gatehouse and the drawbridge, that's where we came in. And then we follow the curtain all around, and then this is St Margaret's Tower on the corner. And then this is what the home originally used to look like before, essentially, falling into ruin. A little door there. See all the windows and everything. And then we come back round to the tower, because that area there was not finished. If we go up and above, you can actually see there where the courtyard is, just along there. That's the eccentric pillars. And then this rock here is the one that they could not afford to remove.